Phoenix.
What a terrible race. Like, it was awful, actually.
Was it actually? I mean, the third stage wasn't too. I only
It
was
was
able to
just
catch the
an
third stage,
awful
but
race. It was just a terrible weekend, and we should never go back
okay.
to this racetrack ever again.
Gotcha. Okay, I
This
hear you
racetrack is
now.
a scourge on Earth. So,
I'd be okay with
Gotcha.
that.
this track hasn't had a good race since 1994.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, no, I get it.
I'm looking up the 1994 Phoenix race now.
Yeah, let's see what
Racing
happened in the
reference.
1994 Phoenix race.
Who won?
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Phoenix. All right. Terry Labonte won. Yeah, you're right. That was the last good race there.
that's right. See? I know wheel. Yeah, no, it was Phoenix.
Ted Musgrave got a top 5.
Ted Musgrave was in the Cup Series.
Yeah.
How about that?
Welcome to this week's edition
yeah.
of the Fake Racers podcast, because that was the cold open this week. So thank you for watching and listening. Davey, what should folks do if they're watching and listening?
If you're watching on YouTube, you should like the video. You should comment on the video. Tell us what you're mad about. Not what we're wrong about, because we're never wrong. But tell us what you're mad about. If you're on Spotify, leave a rate or a comment. Now that you can leave comments on Spotify, and follow us on Twitter or X, wherever you would like to do that, or whatever you call it. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Just interact with us. Get in touch. Get in the conversation. Let us yell at us, and let us yell at each other for your benefit.
Did we
Great
cause
advice.
the X blackout today?
I think so. Actually, we posted. I posted a booty pic on the Fake Racers Twitter account, so go check
Wow.
that out. But I think it broke the internet. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you do have a
Yeah.
dumpy, so
What deal? Everyone says it.
yeah. And Matt, if people want to keep up to date with everything going on here, what should they do? What should they do to the track
Are you
and turf
referring to-
YouTube?
Are you referring to following me or this whole operation?
This whole operation.
Oh, whatever you just said. Sorry, I'm very tired. I just woke up.
You just woke up.
I took a
Subscribe to
nap
Track
as soon
and
as I got
Turf
home from work.
on YouTube and
This-
JTN on YouTube.
I can't wait for this to be the most watched episode of the season. You know, that's usually how these things
I'm
work.
half checked out.
No effort was put into it. Nothing really happened this week. Christopher Bell won again at
It
Phoenix.
was a good green-white checkered finish.
It was.
Yeah.
All the teams. What do you know? All the teams did the same thing with the option tires.
Yeah.
Well, you know, but the teams that didn't, they were cool.
Yeah. Got Ryan Priest.
Yeah. Joey
Big
Logano.
up the man, Joey Logano. Joey Logano,
Daniel
who
Suarez.
used both of his option tires pretty early, didn't have his set of options on the last run, I believe.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have done that. So yeah,
I also
Good
would have got
idea,
a
I guess.
restart penalty.
Yeah. It's not like we have 2 mandatory points where we regroup the whole field and everything and then eliminate any advantage you would have gotten by using
Choosing
an
when to
option
use
tire.
those tires.
Yeah.
It's almost like option tires don't work in NASCAR for the reason that they do work in IndyCar.
Yeah. I think I'll get once again gonna do NASCAR's bidding here. I don't want to, because I agree it does ruin the strategy part. But I think the other benefit of the option tire is we get to test this softer tire.
Yeah, that's why.
That's the main thing, and then
Yeah.
the option tire becomes the tire, which is, if that's what it is, whatever. Would I like this to be like an extra practice day on Wednesday? That's essentially like a test.
No,
Probably more so, because
No.
I would. I'm not saying the teams would. I would like it, but
no, I think the teams would too. I think doing that, you're not going to get an actual gauge on what the tire can do and what the teams want to do with the
it's a fair
tire.
point. You're right.
We've seen how many times that teams go to tests and then they're like, "Oh yeah, Goodyear is bringing an awful tire," or "Goodyear's bringing a great tire," and then we get to the racetrack and it's just a 180.
Yeah.
So, and I think teams were out there testing this week, anyways. So,
Mhm. Okay.
You know.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I agree with that.
sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you down, but
No. That's the whole point of the Joe. That's the whole point of the damn show.
The what show?
Damn.
Thank you.
The Damn Racers podcast.
That's right.
The damn. I like that a lot, actually. Oh, Ziggy's on one. Ziggy's on one again.
Ziggy's zigzagging.
Oh my god. He's been chilling all day and then he's like, "Oh, Dad's recording." Time
Oh, you're already dad.
Yeah.
Nice. That's
But
nice.
yeah.
When he's bad, he's my roommate's son. So.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Roommate's son.
Christopher Bell wins again. I mentioned that. Probably was the best car for the majority of the race. Yeah. William Byron was also really good. Oh no. Those two seem to be on a collision course. Whatever will we do? But I don't know. Is there?
Hopefully not.
I mean, Christopher Bell feels like he can win these next two races too. He could, just log 5 of them to start the year.
Yeah. It wouldn't even be that crazy.
No.
Yeah, this could very quickly start becoming a problem for everybody else.
Yeah.
Is this C Bell kind of ascending to his, let's say, his ceiling, though? And that's not to, like, a lot of times people use the word ceiling as like a negative, but I mean, like, are we seeing him get to like the pinnacle or to what his like true, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for?
Potential?
Yes.
I think so. I think this has been coming for multiple seasons too. He's had those flashes in the last couple seasons, made it to the Final Four. And this is it. This is the culmination of all the work. I think I went on a similar rant like this at the end of last season, but like this is like the culmination of like all of his hard work and all of his time at Gibbs and all the experience now in the Cup Series and all the experience with the next gen car, having good teammates and like having these great race cars and a relationship with the crew chief that seems pretty good. And this is all and a good crew chief, obviously. And this is like it all coming together to like what we, kind of like what was expected of him. This is the driver, like we just said, reaching his potential in such a monumental way where like it just doesn't look like he's gonna stop. Like there's no sign of slowing down. That team doesn't really show a lot of weakness anymore, which is probably more scary than the fact that they just straight up won 3 in a row. Like where's the chip in the armor? Like that team is just dynamite. They've won at Phoenix. They've won at a road course, and they won at a super speedway. Like, when does it stop? And like you just said, they look like they're gonna win. But they look like they could win the next two, which are both intermediates, Las Vegas and Homestead. Excuse me. And that's most of the schedule. Like that's most of the schedule covered, where they just look absolutely out of this world.
Well, it's funny too, as I saw somebody point out, is he's won 3 in a row, and he was also extremely close to not winning any of them. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, not to take anything away from him, you could parse it as like that's just clutch performance, but it is pretty wild how all 3 of these races have come down to like, hey, Bell, you got to make a play here, and he's done it every single time.
Yeah, I mean, Atlanta feels like the one that's like, okay, that one, a lot of luck and whatnot, and putting yourself in the right position is what got him the victory. Not necessarily anything that he did extraordinarily, but the battle with Kyle Busch last week, the restart with Denny Hamlin this week. This week, I think, was the one, Matt, right, where C. Bell, from the drop of the green flag, felt like he was going to win the race, right?
Yeah.
So, to your point, that these ones, they all could have slipped out of his hands, and the clutch gene came through.
Yeah, and they say this is about stick and ball teams, and I think it's a very true statement. Like sometimes you have to like grind out wins like this, like those wins where you gotta like kind of come in late at Coda or be in the right place at the super speedway. It's no different than that in stick and ball sports, where sometimes you just gotta grind out like a win that you necessarily didn't deserve to get, and that's like the mark of a championship caliber team. And not that we didn't already know that about the 20 team, but they're showing it very, very blatantly already this year.
Oh yeah, agreed.
It's good for them.
His teammate has probably mustered up a lot of panic. Boy howdy, Ty Gibbs is off to a terrible start to this year after coming off of a horrendous end to last year. New crew chief, of course, on the 54. Is it time to panic for Ty Gibbs?
Panic, no, but I mean, where has that team gone wrong?
Is Ty Gibbs a bust?
We're not hitting the panic button, but it's it's out of the drawer.
Yeah,
it's almost onto the desk.
Yeah. Joe Gibbs has it like down here under the desk. He's just like, looking down
Maybe
at
we'll
it.
bring Kyle back.
Yeah,
That would be ridiculous.
The 10 races since his last top 10 at Kansas last year have been a 13th at Talladega, a 35th at the Roval, 30th at Vegas, 36th Homestead, 32nd Martinsville, 40th at Phoenix, 16th at Daytona,
Right.
32nd at Atlanta, 34th at Coda, 25th today, or this weekend. It's pretty bad.
And he started the big one this weekend.
Yeah, that too. And I remember a stretch during the summer last year where Ty Gibbs looked like he was on the verge of getting his first win, and now all of a sudden, all that momentum's gone.
Couldn't look further away from it.
Yeah, we know he has the talent, but this has been horrendous for the last however long,
Yeah, and I do wonder if maybe because he still hasn't, like, we've talked about this before, like he doesn't show any signs of like slowing down in terms of his aggression on the racetrack. He still has that trademark Ty Gibbs gene, and I wonder if some of that's maybe starting to catch up to him, where you can that'll pay off in the Xfinity series where the races are 200 miles shorter, but you bring that to the Cup series where the races are longer and the drivers are better, and they're probably less willing to put up with that, or more willing to actively do things that negate what he's trying to do or the aggression that he uses. It just doesn't fly. And not to say that Ty Gibbs has been found out, that's not fair, but I wonder if everyone says, oh, he's in the Cup Series now, he's gonna mature, and then he does some dumb stuff, and it's like, oh, he's running well now, he's maturing, and I wonder if my hope is that this horrible run of form is kind of what makes it click for him, makes him turn it around, and maybe approaches these races a little bit differently, because it's not, whatever he's doing right now isn't working.
Yeah. It reminds me of there's a saying in football, so it's like when you're moving up it's like, you remember the hardest hit you ever took in high school? That's how everybody hits in college. And then same thing, the hardest hit you ever took in college, that's how everybody hits in the NFL. And it seems like it's been kind of a reality check the last few months. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Briscoe across the garage is a little upset about that crash that he triggered, because that was a huge hit.
I did finally look at the replay of it.
Dude, the first clip of it I saw was the onboard from, oh god, who was it?
Was it Haley's onboard, or was it one of the ones?
Yeah, it was Haley's onboard. That was a ridiculous hit, from Haley's onboard. Yeah, that was nasty.
That's just stupid.
Car high. 3 of them, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like maybe the panic's going off upstairs right now, and that's maybe causing driving like his hair's on fire for no reason, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So maybe we panic. Because there's a lot of young drivers there at Gibbs, like Aric Almirola winning races in the Xfinity series. So Almirola wins that race. We do have an Alex Bowman fan, and then a kind of Alex Bowman fan, and then Davey. I mean, Matt, do you want to take us through the finish to the Xfinity race?
Well, I'm going to preface this with that I'm extremely biased in this, because not only do I like Alex Bowman, but I also do not like Aric Almirola. Perfect. It's not I know that's the thing with Phoenix. I think it was 2 years ago on this, we talked about just the way 3 and 4 are profiled, that really the only way you can make a pass and it not take 10 laps is to just knock the shit out of somebody. It's not the most egregious thing, but at the same time, come on, is that really what we're doing? Yeah. Bowman literally spots you the entire inside of the track, and you just stuff him into the fence off of 4. What are we doing here? I don't know.
Joe,
again,
let's see what you got to say.
There's some personal feelings in it, because I'm just really, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, I have never liked the whole, oh, this guy's got to run on the outside, I'm just going to stuff him into the wall, come into the line. Like, when Cale Gale did it, I was like, it's pretty greasy, but I get it. When Kyle Busch did it to Larson, I was like, come on. This, I'm sure it's happened other times, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Joe?
So.
I just,
Bowman
you know,
fan?
it's just short track racing, you know, I don't know. No, I mean, I didn't like it because Bowman gave him a lane and like gave him 2 or 3 car widths. You know, you saw Bell and Hamlin make contact in the race Sunday, and I know this is after the Xfinity race, but you know, Bell and Hamlin were hugging each other, right? Like, and Denny still made it off of turn 4. Almirola didn't give Bowman that, I guess. Bowman knew going into turn 3 that he was going to take a wider line to avoid getting shunted, and he still got used up. So I think he's right to be angry. I thought it was the amount of anger was a little weird, but you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wouldn't expected that from a guy who was in the Cup Series for so long, I guess.
I would. He's slimy. He's a little slimy. I would expect it. He definitely
Bubba Wallace would expect it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You had a good post about
My
that.
thing with that move is like it did the thing that I have the most gripes with in racing, and it's like, okay, yeah, you're going for the win. Yeah, you're gonna race hard. I get it. Yada yada. This, that, the other thing. I hate when drivers like don't intend to wreck somebody, but they like, I'm sure Aric Almirola wasn't trying to like actively fence Alex Bowman, but he was basically in a position where he was like, I'm gonna nail the throttle off of turn 4, and if I hit him, I don't care. And I hate that. Like, I hate that so much. It's such a Joey Logano does that a lot. Like, that's his trademark move. Kyle Larson does that a lot. And it's sick and it's slimy and I don't like it, and that's obviously what he did. I was kind of willing to give him the benefit of that when we first saw the replay before he did the interview. But in his interview, he was like, "Yeah, no, I was going to use him up." Basically, it was like what he said. And I was like, "Oh, well, okay, well,
very godly."
Sure, yeah. But well, I mean, I'm not speaking on that, but like, it's just I hate dude,
it's just
like,
a lack of respect. Like,
and it's
just
such a
basic
cop-out way
form.
to drive. Like,
Oh,
like,
I wasn't
can't trying to hit him.
The dude's a 15-year veteran and can't make a clean pass.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, that's the thing that gets me, is like, it's at least like why I mentioned Cale Gale doing it. Like, you can at least look at it in a vacuum and be like, this is a young guy who doesn't know if he's going to have a career after this race, and he's just like, this is the best shot I've ever had at trying to win a race, and I'm going to stuff Kyle Busch in the fence to keep him from getting by me. I'm like, I don't like it, but I at least get it. Like, what is the point in Aric Almirola doing that? Like, congrats, you destroyed 2 race cars, but you got a cool trophy to hang on your wall. Like,
and you're going to be able to continue driving the best Xfinity cars in the field.
Yeah, it's just a complete lack of respect. You know, we always talk about how so many veterans are like, oh, there's no respect in NASCAR anymore. It's all these young guys. And it's like, last week we watched 3 of the best young drivers have an extremely clean battle, and now you have a 15-year veteran stuffing somebody else in the wall in a race that doesn't matter. He's not running for points. Bowman's not running for points. Like, what are you doing?
And I could have
points.
Yeah, shut up. I could have even excused it if he went to the corner and used him up early, but it was the fact that, like, went to the corner and, like, knew that Bowman was going to get the run and made sure to, like, kind of just let it fly on exit. Like, it would have been different if maybe he gave him a door in the middle and they raced it out of there. You know what I mean? Like, I'd kind of expect that a little bit more than just, like, just straight up, I don't know. It just bothers me.
Like, there was no moving him out of the way. There was just, oh, Bowman gave me the entire track, and I'm going to take more.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
come on, dude. So
that's a fantastic way to put it too.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that was Phoenix.
Not that we're going to talk about ARCA, but I do want to say that I watched the ARCA race, and there were like 4 cars going a lap down in the first 7 laps. It was so much fun to watch. It was unbelievable.
I do want to rant real quick. What are we doing with these goddamn green white checker rules in ARCA?
The race
Come
has set
on.
under green. I don't know
Dude.
what to tell you.
I mean, some useless driver like Tim Vaines spins out, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna rob Butterball. Like, come on.
Butterbean.
Or Butterbean, sorry.
Butterball,
Just-
this man's a turkey.
Just absurd. God. I know that
man's
rule's been
so
around for a
angry.
while, but just watching that at Phoenix of all, like he's literally like 15 seconds away from winning the race, and they're like, "No, sorry, we got to re-rack him."
Yeah. I mean, it's funny to me as like an
Well, for the 40
shit
people
head
that were
race
there.
fan.
Yeah,
But it like as a race fan that like wants ARCA to not be a joke. It's like, geez, man, like what do we do? Like, we don't have a ton of people complaining about the show in ARCA. Like, there's enough going on in ARCA where we don't
Yeah.
need the gotta finish under green thing. We can end these under yellow. I promise.
that's the
can.
worst part too. Is like we've talked about ARCA twice in the last year and a half, and both of them have been like, "What are we doing?" moments. Like when we talked about Daytona last year.
It's one of this year.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, I just had to. Something had to be said about that.
still the funniest racing series in America.
Absolutely.
Did anything else happen in the Xfinity race? I was only vaguely paying attention.
I don't care.
Oh, Austin Hill ran into the inside wall. That was really funny.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
funny.
You forgot where the track was.
Let me
I was
just-
gonna make a meme about like, oh, Austin Hill when he's driving at a track where he has to lift off the throttle, but
Let me just,
I feel like people were gonna take it seriously.
let me just
so.
preface that was my bottom split moment of the week. Was
Oh
that?
shit.
Wait.
So
Well, you can switch it to Dean Thompson piling in at full speed because
nah,
why does that guy have a ride?
nah.
God.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and go from the shop. NASCAR debating on whether to return to Fontana and build a racetrack.
Ooh, this
Wow,
one
it's
got
the
this one got
outcome
people.
that everybody saw coming.
Wow.
This one got people real angry. People are real mad about this one.
What do you mean? A company that has very valuable land doesn't want to sell it to make a lot of money? That they need to fight a lawsuit? I don't know. Oh,
I think it's very
God.
clear they're waiting on this lawsuit to pan out, and the accusations of monopolistic practices are probably pretty important to the way NASCAR does business if things have to be changed, and NASCAR's Fontana decisions probably are heavily affected by that. It makes sense, but man, are people angry about it? People are real mad.
It is just funny though that like when they first announced they were going to be doing this, and almost everybody was like, guarantee they don't actually build the track, they just tear it down and sell all the land because they're going to find out how how much money it's actually worth,
you mean
and that's probably what's happening.
land's worth a lot of money in Southern California?
Yeah, hang on.
What?
There's prime real estate near the second largest TV market in the nation.
What?
It's expensive. Oh, wow.
Are you kidding me? That's
So,
real.
We'll watch and see what happens there. They're not going to build a racetrack, folks. And if they do, it'll be like a third of a mile. And they'll be able to sell more land.
It's just weird because like Irwindale's gone too, and it's like what do you even do for racing if you live in SoCal now?
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Hope you get that street race.
Hope they come back to the Coliseum. 'Cause that was a smashing success after the first year. The first year was. There's rumors about the Mexico race being moved. Don't know why. But
Yeah, I mean, I could tell you why, but
Yeah,
it's a pretty dumb reason. I know that those were real rumors that were going around the garage area, but our friend of the show who is in the garage area and even then Bob
Couple of
Pockris
them,
have all said that those are just rumors that are going around. Everyone's still planning to go to Mexico, like as intended, as if nothing is different. So I'd believe them before I believe the rumor mill.
what kind of tariff do you think they're gonna slap on Cup cars crossing the border? I think it's like
2,000%.
wow.
Did we ever get a resolution on how Kyle Busch is going to be allowed to race?
I think they said he was going to be okay.
Maybe that's
why or how, but
maybe that's why they're trying to annex Mexico, is because they're like, Kyle Busch has to be
Are
there.
we trying to annex Mexico? Thought it was just
yeah,
Canada.
his legal issues were resolved.
There goes that theory.
He probably just paid somebody.
I mean, yeah.
Or NASCAR did. Both.
Yeah.
But no, they don't say how they resolved them, so yeah, probably money.
Yeah, I will say that the only thing with this is typically like where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not saying that it's going to get canceled, but I know a couple other people who work for teams, and they're like, yeah, we've been hearing this rumor since Atlanta. So like we're obviously still building our cars and planning, but we have heard that it was like, hey, just keep this in mind.
Yeah.
If something does happen.
Backup plan would be to go to the Daytona Road Course. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it's more of like a. It's not a like. I bet it's not like, oh, the Mexico race might not happen. It's like, hey, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. If we can't go to Mexico, this is the plan, and that probably got out and then became the Mexico race isn't going to happen, which I don't think is true. I think it's going to be fine, but
yeah.
Why don't we go to Canada?
I mean,
that's probably harder to swing than going to Daytona.
No, I meant...
And for some reason, in today's world, presents the same problems, I guess, now.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it really is. Greenland. It's really weird. Yeah, can't go to Greenland either.
No, you're at least.
Maybe Sochi still has some... Nah, never mind.
Cuba?
Yeah.
Panama?
North Korea's got a lot of money. They can build something.
Oh my god, could you imagine racing that like big stadium they have over there that seats like 1 million people, supposedly?
Yeah, they've got the world's biggest hotel. Or sorry, world's biggest hotel over here.
For audio listeners, how good they are on the Olympics.
God, what was I gonna say?
Hey, that was fun.
You can open a bank account in North Korea. Did you know that?
Oh hell yeah! I bet they do really safe things.
They have like a free economic zone. You can just open a bank account there.
Did you guys ever see? Have you guys ever heard of the YouTube channel Boy Boy?
No.
It's these two guys from Australia, and there was that story a few years ago. This is going way off tangent, but since we're talking about North Korea,
we got time.
Yeah, we're already running pretty short. But there was that story that came out that it was like everybody in North Korea has to get the same haircut, and then they were like, this literally just came from the White House, like it was just pure American propaganda. And so to debunk it, they went to North Korea and got haircuts. Like they flew to North Korea.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good video. You should go watch it. Anyway.
All right. Bottom split moments of the week. Mine is Austin Hill hitting the wall in turn 3.
It's just so funny.
I remember just looking up and being like, "What?" And then also hearing
that guy almost won the first 3 races of the season.
And then also hearing the commentary team also go, "What?"
It's funny too because their like initial reaction, they're like, "Oh, I think he just like got loose or whatever," and they're like, "Oh no, he hit the wall." I saw some people on unnamed social media website that I'm dead naming that they were like, they need to get rid of that, and I was like, I don't know, 39 other people didn't hit it, so
that's so shut up, people. Are you kidding me?
There's a lot of other things to hate about Phoenix. That's
I'm
not
saying. God.
Yeah.
I'll do my bomb split next because I know Matt's probably got a Moto one. I guess my bomb split moment is the cannoli cake for 2 from Carrabba's. I tell you what, thing put up a fight. I thought I was going to be able to knock that one down by myself, but when it says for 2, it really is for 2. I went hard on it, almost like OD'd on sugar. But we made it out, and I don't know if I'll ever do that again.
Oh God, what was my bottom split moment? Now I'm trying to blank.
God, Man.
I forgot.
Joe, what you looking at? You look disgusted.
Don't worry about it.
What are you looking at, buddy? Are you on
Television.
Hinge? You on Hinge?
No.
Oh.
Better not be.
are you looking at, buddy?
What was my bottom split
Facebook.
moment? I don't think it was moto related.
Are you on Facebook Reels?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one, if I'm being honest. I can't
Oh my
remember.
god, you had
That's
such a
okay.
good week.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
I had one and then I forgot what it was. So it wasn't moto related, I know that.
Oh, I feel like we missed out now. What the hell?
we
a
can
bummer.
get Matt to talk about something that doesn't involve dirt bikes?
Well, hey, you know what? If you don't got a bottom split moment, that's a good thing. We
Alright,
strive to not
road-
have bottom split moments.
Road to pro moment. Nothing good happened this week. All right. Anyone else?
Joe. Something good had to have happened. I loved our little pre-show chat,
Yeah. You know what?
our
That
pleasantries.
road to pro moment. Davey and I having a chat. All right.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. I know you don't mean it, but in my heart you mean it,
Okay. Good.
and that makes me happy. Matt, you gotta go. I went second.
My road to pro moment, I'm just gonna go with actually it is moto related. Seth Hamaker won his first race in 4 years, only a second career win. Did it in an absolutely stacked field, and
Nice.
it was pretty cool. So the one healthy guy that Mitch Payton has left, and he won. So
Hell yeah.
that's what they could do when they're not dying. So yeah. Anyway.
That's dope. Like that. Man, I had 2 road to pro moments. I forgot them both. So I'm just gonna go with. Man, what were my road to pro moments? I'm looking around my room trying to see if anything's gonna like site activate my memory, but I got nothing.
Road to pro moment. Parker Clearman released a Daytona Win shirt.
That was probably gonna be one of them, I think, because that's very funny, and I know some people probably think that's weird. It's late enough in the show. Fuck you. I don't care. I think it's funny, and also. When the tweet from Spoiler Diecast referenced both Henderson and Parker, like in their tweet announcing it, so I would assume some of that money is going to go to Henderson, the truck team, and you know what? By all means, take my money. I already pre-ordered it, so
Oh yeah,
I think it's awesome,
yeah, I dig
and
it.
it's a cool looking shirt. So, womp womp.
Yeah,
Womp
I mean,
womp.
Dare I say, it's pretty punk rock of them. So
That's hell yeah, that kind of tracks. They had Lauren was telling me, or she sent me like a clip. They had like a whole punk rock because they were talking about Warped Tour. Because
oh,
whose car had Warped Tour on it?
it was the 07 car. Who was driving it?
Yeah, he had a Vans car.
Yeah,
Nick Lights. Yeah.
yeah.
He
And
crashed and brought out that last caution. I'm pretty sure.
well, you know, regardless, they were talking about like a bunch of bands, and Lauren was like, "Oh my god, I love this." So I was like, "Yeah, dude, that rocks."
That's awesome. Yeah, people love the Kyle Petty, Dale Earnhardt protest scheme. So let's have more pettiness like that.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Joe,
All
what's on
right.
Facebook?
Cars that I want to buy.
Oh, actually, I can alley-oop this into a bottom slip moment that I just realized.
Go for it.
Okay, so I've been I was thinking sometime in the next 6 months I want to get a truck, and I was like, maybe I'll just trade in my Focus for a Ford Maverick or something. And I can't currently afford it, nor do I have anywhere to park it at my current house. But my bottom moment of the week is because I had the audacity to look up the prices. Every goddamn Ford dealership in NorCal is now emailing me every goddamn day, like, "Hey Matthew, do you want to come check out your Ford Maverick?" And I'm, oh god, I want to.
Yeah, why did you check prices like that? Let me.
How dare you want to know how much this investment would be?
Let me give you the scoop out there, folks. We're not sponsored, but it's a good website, caredge.com.
Mm-hmm.
Use that website to look for cars.
Yeah.
Matthew should have went
thanks,
to caredge.com.
Thanks
So
for
we
selling my
parlay
information.
this
So now
into
I'm constantly being annoyed by dudes and ties. So
we could parlay this into a sponsorship. I bet I'll send him an email.
yeah.
caredge.com.
caredge.com, where you have the edge or something. I don't know what their motto is, but
We're helping you edge to get a car.
okay, all right. Come on, man. What are we doing here?
What?
What are we doing?
Is that something bad?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
What? Oh, also, I made I remember my other Road to Pro moment. I bought a domain. The domain is dewey.care.
I saw that. Yes.
Yeah. I'm currently using that for website building practice. It doesn't have anything on it right now, but
head on over to dewey.care.
It's hosting one GIF.
That's right.
And it's a pretty good one. So
that's right, and it's basically just going to be my hotbed for making websites, and then potentially maybe hopefully getting something mediocre up for fakeracers.com before those 2 months end where I can actually like do stuff with it. Fuck you, Squarespace. Or I mean, hopefully they sponsor us. I love you. You're great. You're the best. I use you for my portfolio website. It's great. Thanks.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Fake Racers podcast. Make sure if you haven't already, click the like button and subscribe. Again, doing so helps support us so much. We could not do this without viewers like you. Go ahead and subscribe to at Fake Racers on X, and also follow us on your favorite podcast platform, Fake Racers Podcast by Johto Network. Or you could also head on over to youtube.com and check out Track and Turf. And follow on X, Track and Turf Media.
That feels like the kind of thing where like we should speed that up like ×2. It's like the end of those medicine commercials. Where it's like,
post, yeah.
You're gonna die of internal bleeding.
What? Don't worry about it. At least you won't be sad anymore. What?
What?
Anywho,
what is happening?
What? This is our weirdest show in a while. What?
What?
Oh, that's Mike Joy saying 1984. So.
We live in 1984.
Oh my god.
We'll see you guys next week on the Fake Racers podcast after Las Vegas.
Goodbye. Oh, Ziggy says bye too.